Oh, from Southern Ontario this Sunday, August 28th. Couple of questions and a hypothesis or a theory here, if you will. 3 or 4 years back, I had a friend of mine was renovating his home to the northwest here of where I am, just less than an hour's travel by car. So I'd go up to help him for a couple of weeks there, I'd be back and forth. So anyways, my route would take me through a vast wind farm area. Ironic they call it a wind farm because it used to be farmland. That's where they put them here in Southern Ontario on what was formerly farmland because it's cheap, right? It's already, the trees are gone, everything's flat and level. Now we know that we can't raise domestic animals under wind turbines, the low amplitude frequency business. I mean, cows get stressed out and have birth defects and stuff, so you won't see animals, farm animals, grazing under them. But what I noticed as I was traveling through is I never saw any wildlife. You know, you have what are big fields here for Southern Ontario, 100, 200, 400 acre fields. And there's nobody in there. I mean, they're gated off. It's no trespassing. Nobody like walks their dog there or flies a kite or whatever, right? There's no people around. You might see a pickup truck or two in there. They're servicing the wind turbines, changing all those petroleum products the gearboxes run on. So anyways, you would think you would see at some point deer, wild turkeys, foxes or coyotes out hunting, you know, for rodents. You'd think you'd see something, but I never did. So I asked the people up in that locale, I said, you know, do you ever notice any wildlife out in those fields? You would think so, right? I mean, most of them aren't farmed with crops. I'll come to that in a moment. And a couple of the guys were hunters, you know, and 2 of 1, they all kind of went, oh, you know, now that you mention it, no, I never have seen. Well, you'd think so. You'd think the coyotes, the foxes would be out looking for, you know, the rodents, the ground rodents, moles, voles, rats, all that stuff. Wild turkeys will often nest out in an open field like that. Nothing, I don't, you know. So, no hard science there, right? So if anybody lives or travels through these areas, is that a valid observation, or was it just a perchance thing? I mean, I don't know. I seldom go up through that way. You know, maybe once or twice a year I travel through the same wind farm area to go up to the tractor place, but I've never seen anything. And it seems a bit odd. And I notice very little crop farming under it. Like this one big field, and it's sparse. It's just hasn't been planted with anything, and you'd think, should that not make a good hay field? But no, it's just nothing, sparse, mixed, you know. And I did notice a couple of soybean fields, and they look terrible. And the closer you got to the wind tunnel base, the soybean just fades into yellow nothingness, and around each tower is nothing. Well, the scale of those, it's difficult to get close enough to really, you know, see what kind of yardage we're talking away from the base, but it's unmistakable. You travel 20 miles further west at the same period of time, same season. The Mennonite soybean fields are, you know, lush, green, rich. The ones under the wind turbines look terrible. So my hypothesis is, okay, we know domestic animals can't be farmed, raised under them. Is my theory about the wildlife not going there sort of on the same reason? Maybe those mice and voles and moles and rats and stuff maybe they can't live and breed underneath those turbines either with that low frequency amplitude business. And again, pure conjecture, no data here, but what about the soil under those things? You know what I mean? I mean, we know the importance of soil health with what's happening in below what we can see. You know, it's more complex than just earthworms. There are other bugs. And that, what is it, that myletic structure, what do you call that? We're just sort of learning to appreciate that webbing that's underground, the complexities and the importance of that. So I don't know, is there any feedback anybody got out there? Maybe some people who work on the turbines in the fields. Any feedback would be appreciated. And yeah, so that's my hypothesis and my question.